Peace. Welcome back. All right. We have a new book reading. Divine Rising. Hi, it's Heart Love. And welcome back to the peaceful part of YouTube where we read books and learn from masters. And so, wanted to honor the women in the world with this book reading, as well as the young and growing youth of little girls and women. So, here we go. Put on the glasses, put it in the gold circle. Love Like Sky by Leslie C. Youngblood. Love Like Sky is our new book reading. Hi, it's Heart Love, and welcome. This is going to be amazing. We're going to tune the imagination. And with this book reading, we're going to honor the women and little girls in our lives and that we know and that we hold dear to us. So we're always going to start off with something honorable, right? And that's what we do. Peace, YouTube. Thank you for the likes and subs. We just hit over 600 with the last book reading. And so now it's a new time and wanted some more peace, wanted some more joy and reverence. So, Love Like Sky by Leslie C. Youngblood. As we begin today, I want to just say a little bit about this lovely book. It's going to really, really lighten the hearts around there. So, Love Like Sky on this peaceful part of YouTube where we read books and learn from masters. And so she begins with an honor to my brother, Samuel C. Griffin, and all of those who are smiling on us from above. Chapter 1, page 1. The whole shebang. I love this. Thank you for being here. Peace, you two. Ooh, watch me, watch me. Ooh, watch me, watch me. I sang as I finished the nene and Peaches clapped. No one was hardly even doing the dance anymore or the Dougie, but Peaches still liked for me to do them. They were her favorites. Dance some more, G-Baby, Peaches yelled. Let me catch my breath first. That was the third time. I flopped down next to her on my bed, worn out. Being a big sister was hard work. I was dancing the Nene and the Dougie darn near every day, sort of like I was on Grandma Sugar's favorite show, Dancing with the Stars, except I was dancing in pajamas and my bare feet. And if all that wasn't enough, I let Peaches sleep in my room when she had her very own. She only ever wanted to go in her room to feed her goldfish. Girl, yes, I can't blame her. My room was pretty spiffy. I picked out everything in my favorite color, lilac, which is like purple with milk in it. It's not like I had much else to do since Mama got remarried and we moved out here to Snellville, Georgia. It don't even sound like a place kids should live unless they want to collect bugs. When we were in Atlanta, my best friend Nikki and I went to the mall every weekend. There were more singers, rappers, and other famous people at the Lenox Mall during Christmas than I could name, but not one in Snaily Snailville. Like Nikki always said, zip zero zilch. I thought one cool thing about Mama marrying our new stepdaddy, Frank, and moving us out here would be that I'd have a big sister. That's something that even Nikki doesn't have. Her situation isn't as bad as all that, though, because she has a big brother, Javon. Sure, he teases her and makes her do his housework, but she can still go to him if she needs help. Even though Mama says I can always talk to her, she means Mama stuff, like if someone is bullying me or if a teacher is mean. Not like how to kiss a boy or when it's time to sneak a few cotton balls in my bra. Because Nikki says I'm flat as a pancake. It don't even seem like we got a spanking new big stepsister right across the hall. We've been together in our new house for 6 months, and she's never invited me into her room, never even seen her door open all the way. She left it cracked once, just enough for me to see a zillion cheerleading and gymnastic trophies in there. Look, G baby, I'm jumping like Tangy. Peaches hopped up and down, using my other bed as a trampoline. Funny thing is that neither one of us had ever seen Tangy jump in real life, just in videos. Frank liked to show us sometimes. Stop that before you break your neck, and you're making too much noise. Can't nobody hear me, she said. Can I ask you something, G baby? What? Do you think Tangy don't like us 'cause her real sister's in heaven? Do you think Tangy don't like us 'cause her real sister's in heaven? That question almost knocked me off the bed. Took me a minute to figure out what to say, since I'm supposed to have all the answers. That's what it means to be a big sister and why I want one of my very own. I'd have to share her with Peaches, like my room, but that's fine with me. Remember when we first met Frank and you cried because he wasn't daddy? Uh. Well, Tangy might feel a little like that. She doesn't intentionally not like us, but she misses her own sister. Will she like us one day? Maybe. It might take longer than it took for us to like Frank. Why? Cause she's a teenager, and like Mama says, she has a mind of her own. We share minds, G baby. No, everybody got their separate minds, but when you get to be a teenager, it works differently. You'll be a teenager soon. Yup, in 2 years, I'll be 13. Will you have a mind of your own too? I guess. You'll still love me? Not if you keep jumping on the bed, I won't, I said, trying to sound serious. A second later, she crash landed on the floor and made a huge bang because she's chunky for 6. I'm kind of tall and skinny, and calls me a beanpole. The school nurse says I was 53 inches, and that's almost 5 feet. Mama says I'm bound to sprout up past that at any moment. You don't have to study long to tell we're sisters. We're both got Mama's dark brown eyes and dime sized dimples, but Mama said we're double fudge dipped like our real daddy. Just then, Mama opened the door and stepped into my room. Last night, we put gel on Mama's hair and twirled it around spongy rods. After that, she covered it with a silk scarf. Now her hair was big and curly around her face, and it made her look like an angel. She had a pink lip gloss and her eyelashes were as long as a baby doll's. Frank calls Mama his cinnamon beauty. Gee, baby, Peaches, what are you doing in there? Nuttin', Peaches fibbed, scrambling up off the floor. Too loud to be nuttin'. You two behave yourself. Frank and I are getting ready to leave. Mama kissed me on the cheek, then Peaches. I sniffed. Red door. Red door. You are a little bloodhound. Mama kissed me again. She has a drawer full of fancy perfume bottles. I can always tell which one she's wearing. Peaches hugged Mama. I knew it too. No, you didn't. I said, Peaches is always trying to get in on something. Did so. Fooling with you two gonna make us late for our date night, Mama said as she tickled Peaches. Mama didn't start the date night business until she read President Obama and the First Lady had him. When Mama explained it, she said they're like mini honeymoons. Now, once a month, sometimes twice, she and Frank get dressed up and go out to dinner and a movie. Sometimes they even go dancing. Mama calls those nights the whole shebang. But I bet when Malia and Sasha lived in the White House, they weren't stuck in the rooms while their parents were out doing the whole shebang. I wondered if, when Malia was a little girl, did she ever want a big sister? Katrina, Frank called, his keys jingling as he jogged up the steps. His voice is deeper than Daddy's. Grandma Sugar said he sounds like Barry White. Frank used to be a Marine and likes to be on time for everything. Mhm. A few seconds later, he was at the door dressed in his favorite navy blue sports jacket and tan pants. He'd shaved and was in shape like a soldier, unlike Daddy, who'd slap his belly and say, this here is evidence of good living. If you two behave yourselves, we might bring home doggy bags, Frank said. Peach's eyes lit up. Chocolate cake. That's your favorite, isn't it? Frank said. G babies, too. Peaches pointed at me. Frank held up two fingers. Couple doggy bags it is. He palmed my head and then Peaches. That's his way of hugging us. We're leaving, Tangy, he shouted on his way downstairs. Yeah, okay, she yelled without opening the door. We'll be home before midnight. Mama blew us kisses and walked out the door. I folded my arms. Mama? Yes, G baby. She stepped back in, my words stuck in my throat. What is it, honey? You think if you and Daddy had date nights, you'd still be married? I asked. Mama and Daddy divorced 3 years ago. She and Frank have been married close to one. Mama unfolded my arms. Oh, sweetie, it wasn't one thing that could have fixed your daddy and me. If it was, we would have done it. Understand? Yeah, I guess. But grown ups who have been married before learn from mistakes and try to get it right the next time. Is Daddy coming to see us soon, like you said, Mama? Peaches asked. Now, I really felt bad for saying anything. Sometimes, most of my dancing was to make Peaches get used to the fact that we were in a Mama called a blended family, and there I had to go talking about Daddy. I'm sure he will, baby. I glanced at Mama's hands and to make sure she wasn't crossing her fingers behind her back. Mama planted a kiss on Peach's forehead, then gave me a big hug. I sniffed her perfume and wasn't sure if it was Red Door. She could be fibbing about Daddy calling, too. When Mama and Daddy first tried to explain it, Mama said sometimes grown-ups fall out of love. The best I can figure it, love is just a big old bed. When you're not happy, you fall out of it. When I heard Frank toot his horn twice, I ran to the window and watched them drive off. Frank's minivan was the only thing moving outside. Some houses had lights on, but there was no other sign anyone was home, not even a dog barking. When we lived in College Park in Atlanta, if you stared outside long enough, you were bound to see someone opening a window, closing a curtain, or coming out to sit on the porch. This whole entire neighborhood seemed to have an 8 o'clock curfew. As I stood there, I plotted how I could get Tangi out of her room. Think he'll call tonight? Peaches asked. I doubt it. I snapped, though I didn't mean to. Who knows, maybe? Gee, baby. Yeah. Do you still love Daddy? Of course. That's a silly question, I said as quickly as I could. Peaches went back to jumping on my bed. All the jumping made her ponytails come loose. She had two thick puffs of hair on both sides of her head, with barrettes hanging on. Before I could work out anything close to a way to talk to Tangi, she called dinner from downstairs. As soon as we sat down, Tangi slid our plates in front of us. Tonight, it was chicken nuggets, mac and cheese, and sweet peas. Tangi stood next to me, filling a glass with apple juice like I couldn't do it myself. Her hair was a million tiny braids she'd put up in a messy bun to hide the braids that were unraveling. And like cool girls on TV, her long t shirt was hanging off one shoulder and had Georgia National Cheerleading Competition written on the front. I closed my eyes and leaned over the plate. Mmm, this smells so good. I love peas. Gee, baby, you said that before. You don't like. I kicked Peach's foot hard enough so she'd stop talking. She wrinkled up her face and chomped down on a nugget. Tangi didn't say a word as she dropped napkins on the glass table. Tangi, I asked. For the first time that night, she looked at me. Tangi's hair and eyes were sandy brown, like Frank's, but she had a face full of teeny weeny freckles. Yeah? Uh, can you teach me how to cook like you? She sighed. Hmm. Open a can of peas, pour them in the pot, get some frozen nuggets, and put them on the stove. Turn the thing on, and voila, you're cooking. Well, you made the peas taste delicious, better than Mama's. I bit my lip. I hadn't even tasted half a pea, too scared she'd say something and my mouth would be full. Peach's eyes widened. Nobody cooks better than Mama. Tangi turned to leave, but paused to uncuff her sweats. Pink! Peaches shouted when she saw the word printed on Tangi's backside. Ooh, your daddy said not to wear them pants. I almost choked on the peas I'd finally shoveled into my mouth. Peaches didn't know when to shut up. I squinted my eyes so tight at her. She was only a head. Frank only said she can't wear 'em out the house, I corrected. What he'd really said, No daughter of mine is walking around with big letters across her butt, just like she isn't going out with no octopus college boy. Tangy ignored her, and Peaches knew better than to glance my way. I had a feeling why Frank called the college boy an octopus, and it wasn't good. He might be like that boy at my old school who got sent to the principal's office for pinching girls on the behind. On her way out the kitchen, she ordered, "Before you two come upstairs, I want the table cleaned off and the dishes put in the dishwasher." And then she glared at me. "And could you keep your sister quiet and not work on my nerves for a change?" "Yes, ma'am." "Don't man me. I'm not 100, she snapped. An hour later, Peaches tired out and fell asleep, but I was still wide awake. If Tangi's music wasn't loud and Peaches wasn't jumping around, all I heard was crickets. I lay there in bed looking up at the ceiling, wondering how many lonely crickets were out there rubbing their wings together. Then, along with crickets, I heard voices outside. I got up, flew to the window. In the corner of our porch, I saw Tangi talking to a boy. Octopus. And we've completed chapter 1 of Love Like Sky by Leslie C. Youngblood. Our first reading of this beautiful, beautiful book honoring the women of the world for this National History and Women's Month of 2026. Highest heart, love, and honor to all the women and loves of our lives. Isis, my mom, my aunts, I love you so much. My sister, yeah, highest heart, love, and honor. Thank you for being here for the new book reading. Thank you for the likes and subs. We are pushing towards 700 subscriptions on this peaceful part of YouTube. Let's have a glass of love water and cheers to Leslie C. Youngblood and the women and girls of our lives in our life that we honor with this new book reading. Highest heart, love. I love you. Thank you. Yeah. Love like sky. I love you. I love you. I love you. Shaking it up on YouTube. Reading books. Oh, I wish all is well with all of you. Sending love and light, divine rising, and happy Friday. Look at this. 17,016 today. Peace, peace, Sonic. Highest heart love. And Alicia, much love. Love to all our friends and family. Thank you to all the book lovers community. We got a new style today, right? That's what I was like. I know we read so many heavily packed vocabulary books on this channel and, a lot of big time information and putting the dots together. And so I wanted to lighten it up a little bit, you know, shine, shine some angel wings, some more pure gold into the world, right? Yeah. Thank you so much for all of you reading with us. Yeah. Shine the light into the world. Reading this Beautiful, lovely book. I've read excerpt of this, and I listened to this Leslie C. Youngblood read a passage of this, and it just was so heart opening. And so, in these times of evil working, it's more important that us archangel energies and angel energies, that we shine light and outwork them, right? Shine light even more. That's why I come on here and read in these books. Outwork them. Let's have a divine day and evening. Yes. Happy Friday. Let's go. Let's go. About to go and do some work. Put it in some work. Heal the people. All right. I love you. I love you, you know it, because I love myself. Peace, peace. I'll see you soon. We're in a new level.